Well, here we have it, that 50-50 black alpaca and Rambouillet, and got a little carded bat here from back in the summer because I did this for Tour de Fleece in July, working up to having enough yarn spun for a sweater to replace one that our youngest son had stolen out of his car. I ended up with about 2,000 yards. Um, I was going, I was going for that, I guess, because I didn't know how much I'd need. But I was using the Knitting Without Tears Elizabeth Zimmerman's percentage sweater. Awesome, awesome, awesome idea. You need a chest measurement, length of sleeve, length of body, along with your gauge for your yarn and the fabric that you want. And you're off to the races. I've used this for several different people, and it's worked out well every time. What I did do with this is I used her hybrid sweater, I believe. Let's see if we can get to this. Um, but it does a saddle shoulder that also has a yoke across the back. It's something that fits this kid really well. It was the original sweater that he had. And there it is, the yoke across the back. Lovely. Please excuse my fingers. I've been dyeing and my gloves have holes in them. So, but there's the yoke. And it's a great shape of a sweater. And it's a pretty straightforward knit. And great book. If you don't have this, I highly recommend it. It is my very favorite knitting book of all time. Knitting Without Tears by Elizabeth Zimmerman. At this point, we've got the body, we've got the sleeves all to length, and now we're going to join those together and do all the fun stuff that's at the top. All those great, nice little stacked decreases. What I'm seeing here is that some of these little slubs that are in this wool are really kind of loose, and I think it's going to drive this young man crazy. So, and everybody's young now that I'm in my 60s. Some of them pull off really easily. They're just held on by a couple of fibers, and I'm kind of going through all of this to make sure that I've taken care of all of that because I don't want him to be bugged by it. It's coming together really well. Looking forward to getting the shoulders together. And here it is, to measurement. Turned out that because of the alpaca, this really sagged a little bit. So it's longer in the body, longer in the sleeves than he wanted it to be. I think it's fine in the body, but obviously the sleeves are a little long. So we needed to take off about 3.5 inches of the body and 4 inches from the sleeves. So what I did was I pulled out a row of stitches at that point and took off that added length and re-knitted the hem for it. And here it is, finished object. Yay! All done. So what did I learn? Two things in particular. One is that at 50% alpaca, you have that drapiness that comes with that super smooth fiber of alpaca, and weight and super smooth. So thinking about how could I account for that, and I was wondering, instead of first balling it up and sticking it in a project bag when I'm not working on it, maybe the deal would be to suspend it from something so that it could relax a little bit and get the measurement from that. Or, as I did block this flat and I blocked it to the measurement. So it's really about the hang time. And if that's the case, then could also suspend it somehow and maybe spritz it with a little bit of water. Measure it when you do that, and then measure it again when you come back. I'll have to think that that U is actually me, that I'll look at doing that. The other thing was about spinning. And most of this, the yarn that I knit the sweater from was coming out to be 1.8 yards per gram. And I know I'm mixing new money and old money there. If you're so inclined, do that conversion. But in any case, so 1.8 plus, further decimal points, yards per gram. That's what I knit the sweater from. But I have other skeins of yarn that are 1.5. So I really should do what I've been advised to do all along as a hand spinner, which is have, when I get the kind of yarn that I'm looking for and I do that little test ply, right? Let it pigtail up and see what it looks like. That I need to snip that little baby off and attach it to my wheel so that I'm really keeping in mind, this is the yarn I'm going for. Not just whatever I happen to get today, which is, my normal. But that's it. That's what I learned. Always learned something from every project, every spin, every something. And best part, he enjoys wearing it. Let me know what you think, and fiber on.